Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I hope my screen is visible and you can see the base code and both the emulator. Yeah, let me put here and yeah, we are up. So let me run this app. So let's put the debug mode on. And so things will be let the emulator come up, then I'll show you like what we're doing for today. Okay, that's it. We have our emulator up and debugger is running. So let me say what we'll be doing today. So as we said earlier, right, in yesterday's video, we said that we'll be building one more item like this, where we will keep the like what is the thing that you learned today, like the best thing of today's, like the article you read in any video you watched or something. You may watch movies, series, and something, right? There is something that stuck with you, like you liked it. So we'll just keep a note of what was that, and yeah, that will be the next item. So let's put it up. So let's go to our components. So I hope you understood how our project is designed, right? So I said in yesterday's video. So yeah, so let's create one more component, and there is a new folder. And this folder will be what should we name it? So this will be like what is the thing you learned today, right? So like what's the best thing? So what do we name it? What do we name it? Let's name it as lesson. But it can not only be a lesson, it can also be something like, okay, let's keep it as lesson, and we will change it when we think of a better name, when we find a better name. So first we'll create the view dot and okay. So view dot. So as I said, how our project is designed, right? View dot will contain the UI part of it. The provider is supposed to control the state of it. The repository thing will do all the API and the base calls. So yeah, so let's create a consumer widget. So we are always using a consumer widget, if you see for others also, right? So why do we use this? This widget is provided by Riverport. So it's a stateless widget, but inside it, it's a stateful, so that we can manage the state and we get the access to the reference here without having to build a consumer builder, right? We can get the reference. It is good for some, but I try to use it so that I avoid it when I can, but I just use. I feel like it makes the work easier for me. So let's put a consumer widget. So we should get a consumer widget, stateless consumer, and we'll name it a lesson view. Lesson view. Okay. So and let's import the packages. So first we'll import the river port, then we'll import the material part of it and put the material in the top. Yeah. So first we need to create this design of how this will look. Okay. So let's take in from the expenditure list. So go to the view of it, and we'll copy the return thing. Okay, will contain from container up to the body of it. Let's copy it up to the this part of it. Okay, just copy it. Why I'm copying it, because it's the same thing, where since the container is supposed to be like same. So, and what we'll get is, so we'll get this, so this one and this and this, and let's fix up the issue. The first is it does not need this. Let me close this so that you can see it more. So first is the error. First concept is reference how if the expansion panel is open or not. Okay, so let's go to the report pod. Let's create the first. We'll create the providers dot. Okay, so there is an error because I copied and some things are not present here, right? So we'll be fixing the error one by one by completing it. So first is we need a notifier state, and say if it is open and closed. So what we'll do instead of it's providers, not providers. So we'll create a state provider. So state provider, and we'll keep it as a lesson expansion state. Okay, lesson expansion. What this will do, this will give us, like if you see for other widget, when you click it opens, right? It's a state of it to open and close. So this will be state. It will be of type boolean, that is it will accept the value as true or false, and what will return by default it's false. Okay, so that we get the expansion should be closed by default, only opened up when we click on it. So let's go and import the Flutter report pod. That's it. So now we can use this lesson expansion state provider. So how this provider work is, you need to keep watching on it. Since the state provider will watch on it, and whenever it changes, we'll try to update it. So just put it here, and we need to import it. So we'll import this one, and let's close. Let me close this. So what this will do is expansion panel. So expansion callback is like when you click on it, right? What is the callback? Should the state be open or closed? And where is it checking? It should be open and closed. It's checking here. So we can go here and put a variable that will contain like should the list be open or closed. Okay, so expansion, like this is lesson expansion. So we'll do lesson expansion open state. Okay, and we'll watch the provider. We'll have that watch and put the lesson provider state. Now this will, it will keep looking on this provider, and whenever the state is true or it changes, it will update this lesson expansion open state. So we can just put this here. Okay, this error is fixed. Now let's go below. It's not expenditure, it's lesson of the day. Okay, lesson of the day, and we don't need any chip for this because this is not counting up anything, so it will not go in our design. So chip is done, and let me put a constant. So put constant everywhere in file. Okay, that is done. Now the size. Now we need the size, so we'll pick out the. So how you can get the sizes? You can do final, and you can get it from media query. So do media query dot, don't do off context. Okay, when you do off context, it will try to pick media query, whatever it has access, it will put everything. If you want size, just do size of and put the context. That is the current context. Now you get the size here. Okay, if you do, see it's type size. So now you can get both the height and width of this position or this context, and this is done. So now the error is size box is done, that is the body, and if you see header builder is returning, this is correct, and it's part of expansion panel, that is also correct. And now it needs to complete the children, that is put up a bracket, then it needs to complete the clip here, that is done. Then to complete the container with the semicolon. Now if I put the containers and what is the error? So expected this, put one more, save it. Save this. Okay. So I think it should be now. Okay. Now let's go to our main.dart that will help us in bringing up the UI. So where do we want? It should be under the expenditure. So search for expenditure. Search for expenditure. Okay, why is there only one expenditure? This should not be. So let's go one by one. So we have walk distance, that's correct. To do list, exercise, expenditure. Okay, this one. EXPEND. Okay. There's a mistake on this. Let's fix up this expenditure list view. Okay. Two part of it. It's not expenditure, it's expenditure. Okay. So yeah, there are some issues here and there when we need to fix it. It's expenditure. Do we have more errors? No, I guess. So expenditure is done. After the expenditure, we want this to be coming. So we'll do lesson view. LSS. Lesson view. Put a comma. Save it. Okay, we get the lesson view. If you see here, we get the lesson view, right? And we can open it. So there is one problem if you see. The thing is occupying, right? The height of it is not correct. So why is it not correct? Let's see on expenditure. So let's check out why the height is not matching. So why doesn't the height match? So we're not part of the body. We need to be part of this expansion panel, right? So it's expanded, that is correct. And we have a padding of 8. Did we provide the padding of 8 in our lesson? Clip track is done, and we have border radius, expansion panel. We have a padding all of 8. That is correct. It's container 2. 32. That is everything is correct, but it did not get this because most probably it's because of the clip rect. If you see, okay, let me fix this formatting. So it's not picking up, that's because of checkbox chip, I guess, because chip will also have a padding, right? So if I put the chip, does it fix that? If it fixed that, then what we need to do is, right, we need to fix like what the padding should be if there is no chip. Okay, so let's put the chip in here. So the chip should be in the row after the padding. Take comma and put up the chip, and let's remove the level and shape of it. So we just want to see if the chip works. Okay, so it says the name parameter level is required, so the level will become, let's put a text level of chip. This is just for testing. Okay, the chip is what gives the height of it. So what should be the padding if there is no chip? Okay, so this padding will change. If you see, we have a padding of 8, right? This padding will change, and what should be the chip? So let's see what the chip holds. Okay, what is the height weight that chip gives by default? So let's see, chip extends, chip attributes. Where do we see what is the height and width of it? There should be padding or something, right? So what's the padding? By default it should put up a 16. So let's do one thing. Instead of 8, let's go for 16 and remove the chip. Okay, no, it's not done yet. So instead of 16, let's go for 32. it's not 1632, 1624. This is the last thing we'll do. And it isn't the same if you see. So there is one more thing we need to fix then. This is not correct. We cannot put everything as this. So what we'll do is we'll put a symmetric. One second. So this is one issue here. So 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So what the issue that's happening is since the chip is holding an up to 16 megapixel of its own, right? 16 pixel of its own. So it's not matching the height of this. So first is we'll need to fix some height, but I think we can do once a generalized thing because if you see the top one also. So for now, how we'll fix this is we'll put a symmetry. Okay? We'll put a symmetry. And for the horizontal, we'll still keep it at 8 pixel. But for the vertical, we'll try to make it as 24. So what this will do is it will at least give up the same. If you see, it will continue to giving up the same. And let's put the size blocks. So we have a size block of 16 between all the components. So let's put this component here. Yeah, lesson of the day. I think that is working as we expected. Now if you click on this, the state is also working. If you see, it's opening up, right? And if you close, yeah, that is working fine. So what we want inside this is we want that there should be a text form field, right? So it will not be 50% here. So let's do one thing. Let's not put as 50%, but this time we'll reduce it to 25%. We'll reduce it to 25%, and yeah, that should be it. So we'll give a text form field here, and you can type on the things. But if you already have, right? So what do we do when you already have one? So when you already have, it should be there, and you should get the edit button. And what the edit button should do, when you click on edit, the text that is already here, right? It should be part of the input text box. So it will convert to input text box, and you can edit it directly, and you can click on save. So that is what we'll be going with. So let's do that. So when you already have, it should be there, and you should get the edit button. And what the edit button should do, when you click on edit, the text that is already here, right? It should be part of the input text box. So it will convert to input text box, and you can edit it directly, and you can click on save. So that is what we'll be going with. So let's do that. So Yeah. So in the body, what we'll do, first we'll need the text form field, right? So we'll put the text form field and let's start with text form field first. So put a child of it. Let's put a child and put a child of text form field. So should we put up a column or no? No, we'll not put up a column or anything. Let's directly put a text form field. And so what this text form field should do? We'll let's add the text editing controller for it. So final text editing controller, and we'll name it lesson text controller, lesson text controller. So we'll do text editing controller. So by default we'll be passing nothing, so we'll not enter the initial text and remove the constant because we have a value here, and this will be the controller of it. So go here and put the controller, put the controller of it. So this will have a controller, and let's save this. So we'll have the controller, and since for all the controller we're following a basic if said we'll have text form field for all of them, right? Let's pick up one of them from the others. So if you put that decoration here, let's pick up the same decoration and put it here. And here in the this one hint text will be learning for the day, and save it. So we get our text form field and we'll be having this, but this does not look so good because if you see we only get one line. Okay, so it will not look good with the size. So what we'll do, we'll give a max lines of, let's put a max lines as 4, and this will increase the height of it, and instead we'll not give the height also, and let's remove this height. So click on this and remove this height and put in the body. Yeah, we get this, and what we'll do, let's put up a padding of it. Let's put a padding of 8 and save this. Interesting. We should not do this, and we'll do from left of right, and we'll put 8 for all. 8 8 8. So it's 8 from all sides, so it will left top, but in the top we'll not put anything, so we'll put 0.0 in the top. So this is how it will look. I think this will look fine for us. Okay, and one more thing. So here if you see for the expansion panel, right, we already have a border radius. So if you see the border radius 32, right? So if you put 32 for this one, this is 16, so it does not look like the radius is same. So what we can do in border radius the circular, right? So instead of circular we can do border radius dot horizontal. Horizontal is the side ones, right? So if we put vertical, what will the vertical do is it will put the top and bottom. The top, yeah, top will keep it as 16. Okay, so one second, let's see what's the recommendation. So top needs to be radius and bottom needs to be radius. So in the top we'll keep it 16. Okay, so for top radius or circular we'll put as 16, but in the bottom if I say we'll put radius the circular as 32. Why you're putting 32 for this is like we want the border radius to match up with the expansion panel border radius for the bottom. For the top it doesn't have to. Okay, for the top will not put. So let's save this and see. Yep, now it looks better. So you can go there and edit it, and yeah, that should be it. Let's put a constant so that that constant everywhere in file, and I think this looks fine. So where we can put the learning of the day, and you write something, and yeah, that's it. Now also not only this, we also need the save thing, right? So they will have to save it. So how do you put the save? Do you want this to be auto saved? Auto saved can also be worked, but that will do too many API calls, since this needs to be saved. We're directly saving on Firebase. So we're using Firebase, right? So this will directly be saved on Firebase. So what we can do is let's put up a button, because the button will be important, because I said, right, if there is already what you say, there is already a lesson of the day. Suppose you wrote it, then open the app 1 second, right? There is already some. So you should get an option to edit, right? So what do we do? We Okay, let's put up a button. So insert the padding, text from fall. Let's put this in a column. Let's do main axis size as minimum. Okay, and text from field is 1, and let's put the second one as, we'll put up a row, and main axis alignment. We'll put this to an end. Why we want end? Because we want the save icon to be at the end, so that it looks better. Okay, so we'll put this in the end, and let's see how it looks. And in the children, let's put a field button on press, keep it as empty, and in the child, let's put as save. Okay, let's save this. Okay, so you get the save icon here. uh, I'm not liking the design of it, like on change. Should we keep it on change? Like when you type, it gets saved. Mm, they design on type save, so we can do something like every 5 seconds when you type, it should get saved. Whatever the text is, right? It will just keep on updating whatever you have. So, but sometime when you edit, right? When you clear some of part of it, and you don't want that to be saved, right? You'll have a button called update or something. So if you bring the save to the center of it, so I mean axis alignment, the center. If you bring this to the center, how will this look? Mm, should I put in the center? It's not looking good enough. What do you do? What do we do for this? We need to save it, and should I put in this in a button? Or we can put how we did for others, like put a chip up on there, and when you type, will show you a save icon. Um, so let's save. What do we do? Save, and okay, let's keep in the center. It does not look good. We need to change it. So in the to do, let's put up a one more to do. So on so this to do is like we can also put whatever we are doing, right? We can just put in a to do. It will work. It's saved on database, so it will not be erased. So on list, save button does not look good. Needs to change. Needs to change. Okay, let's put it this in the to do so that we don't forget. So and close this. Why? Because I'm not liking this putting in the center, but I also don't want to be auto saved. So let's put it this way and see. should I put it the end? Okay, let's put it here. Okay, we'll not be fighting too much for now, and as we get some ideas, we'll move that. So what should it be now? So now, yeah. So you can write here something. You can click on save, then this should save in the database. Okay, that is the basic thing. But let's define how the data should be saved as lesson of the day, right? So this will be added every day, but there will be only one instance of it. So let me check out. So good news for people watching. So India won the match by 7 runs. I was just looking here and there, so I thought, yeah, it's a good thing to know. So if someone is watching, and that's just for the memories, let me put up the comment. So 1 second. So I put up in the comments so that at least you get an idea. Okay. So let me see in the database. I'm not sharing the database page here, okay, because I really don't know like what are the things you can share for database that is not private. Okay. Well, once I start getting an idea, right, then I'll show you. See, I have no problem showing you how the database is designed. Okay? But I don't want that there should be too much of request if someone has an access. So what we want to do is every day we'll be saving one learning of the day, right? So this will not be more than one. So what we can do? So every day there will be one. So what we can do? Is doc and this is expenditure general makeup and work distance, but this is not part of general, so we can do let's put this on. I'm just looking at the database. So if you're thinking what I'm doing, it's like I'm looking at the database like where should I put this? Should I put this under the general thing, or it looks good to be on the general since we have wake up time, walk distance, and all this in the general, because general is a single instance thing. So can we do that? Okay, this can be done. So if you see this general, right? So there is something called general. So generally we have wake up, walk distance thing. So what we can do? Wake up time, and if you put in the same way, but this will not need. We'll need the providers and views. It will not need any models for it, because in the model we just need to add one more field to it, and this should solve it. So yeah, let's move this lesson or lesson from here to the general. Okay, so we have moved this lesson from this to general, and how should this help us is like since this is a single instance, right? Every day there will be only one lesson of the day. Like there's a one wake up time, there is one went for a walk time, but to-do list is a list of things, right? And exercise is a list of things. These are not one but multiple things of it regarding that. And This I did not want to put in a string or something where you can just put a comma and put it, because you need to edit it. So what we can do, if you put this in the general and name it as lesson of the day or learning of the day. Yeah, that should help us. So what we'll do, we'll put this in the general. Okay. And let's add one more thing. So instead of this also, there will be one more, that is required this dot, and in the work distance we'll also put lesson of the day or learning of the day. Learning of the day. Okay, learning of the day. So let's rename this also. So instead of lesson, let's put as learning. So LEARN, learn. Okay. And inside the learning view, you see it's learning for the day, and instead of lesson, we'll be learning for the day. Let's restart, since many things got changed and class also got moved here and there. So why is it not building? Come on, build it, please. Lesson of the day. No, okay, there are some errors. So let's fix them one by one. First is this is an error called general task. Okay, general task is throwing an error because wake up time is not correct. So let's move to the repository once and see what we do. So when we get the general text, we try to get everything. How did we manage this? And wake up tile view. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love. To look for general task, and my past is filled with things I won't forget. Okay. For the repository, what we do, we get all the general tasks, that is correct. Update wake up distance time is we update whatever we get it here. Right? So general text should not have required for all the field. It can just have whatever it needs to have, right? So what we can do is, right, in the model set, don't put as required, because when you put as required, if you want to pass even an instance, right, you need to pass all of them. So but you don't need those, right? So but 1 second. So when you add, right, when you try to add, update all the time, because because when we get this, we all have this by default. Okay, so 1 second. So general item, so you'll get the idea of it, and by default, when we build, we should have this as an entry point. So whenever you can, okay, so how was this thought is like whenever you open an app in a new day, right, and a format of your how your table should like get formed up in Firebase, and in the general you get in blank for all of them. You'll have by default the wake up time as blank, and whatever you create. I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. So that's why you always get an idea of it. So When you want to update it, you update the data. So what you can do, what can you do? By default, you can. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. So yeah, what we can do is like since how the general task was designed, there will already be an instance of it, but it will be an empty bit. So we're not creating one, but we're updating the empty things. So what we can do, okay, this will all have those. So let's not make this anything as required. We'll make the ideas required, others will remove it. Okay, so remove this and let's put the learning already. Okay, so this is throwing an error because since we are putting as a string, right, and these are not required, so this can be null. So what do we do is this the correct way of doing it? Maybe questionable, but yeah, let's go. So we'll put this as a string, but here we'll put this as string as empty also. Okay, so now all of the other fields are not required, but okay, let's see what are the errors we get. On the views we get one more error. This will be because there can be a null of it, right? So it says string, so instead of is empty, so I can say we can't clear the is empty because this will always be there and we know it will be there. Okay, so we can put that this cannot be null because we already know in the database, so this will be saved as an empty string. So this will not become null any day for us because that is the design of it. And similarly, it will go for here also. So if you set another distance and okay. Okay, this should be doing fine for us. And one more error we get in the wake up, same thing will go here and wake up time. This cannot be empty. This can be empty string, but it will not become null. So is empty field will work. Okay. Then for the learning also it will work in the same way. But since it's not required field, right? So even if you don't pass, it should work. So what we can do now, it's all part of general, so we can use the provider, same provider. So general text provider, we can use this, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing for this because it's not looking good. But yeah, that's it. So it's a general tasks. Let's watch it. So we are watching the general task provider. So what the general task provider is these are part of all the general things that we like wake up time, walk, learning of the day. This should be part of general task. Okay. So this is an async provider where we can fetch all of them. By default, it will fetch if you see the provider, right? Not the one from the learning, but if you see this provider, and we can bring up, and this will fetch all the, if you see the build, this will fetch all the general tasks. Okay, so if it's saying so it will fetch all, and so now we can put up the idea like if it's there, put up as a string, but if it's not there, put up as a text form field where you can save it. Okay, so that should do it. Still be skeptical towards it. Okay, then we cannot put this way. So okay, and let's put up here. Okay, so general task dot when. Okay, so if there is data, so general task will general task will always have data. The data may be an empty string, but it will have it because when we initiate for every day, right, things will be created by own. Okay, so we'll have data. This data will be of type general task. So general task, and let's put a general task. So general task, okay. And what should this return? This should return based on if there is that particular field on. So if if you see here, okay, so what we were doing, we were checking for data and eventually returning based on it's there and there. So the general task is here, and we'll see if there is for learning of the day or not. If there is learning of the day, then show it. So we can do something like this. So return general task dot learning. If there is learning of the day, it's not empty. It's empty. If it's empty, okay. If it's empty, then show up this. So let's put up a padding, not padding, but the column of it. So the column. If there is already this, then return the column, or else put up in a list style. Should we use list style for it? Let's see. So list style title, or in the title you can put the general tasks learning of the day. In the title we'll put this as a text, so text and this. That should work. Okay, and if there's an error, the stack and the object of it, or its object and stack. Get the object and stack, and for now what we'll be showing is we'll set a return center child text. Something went wrong, and something went wrong, and we'll try to print the object of it so that we get it. For the debugging case, we at least have like what is the wrong, and this should be correct. And for the loading, we'll just put in the center, we'll put a center child circular indicator. Okay, circular progress indicator. This should be it, and the padding of this should be happening for all of them. So let's remove this padding and put the padding here. We'll put directly on the return. The check will be inside the padding. So we'll put it like this. Put up a padding and padding. This is the padding, and the child of it should be based on the condition. I think this should solve our issue. So if we go to the bottom and got this. So it says null check operator used in a null value. This will not be the case. Okay. So why will this not be the case? Is general task. A general task returns, right? So either this will throw an error because there is no general task, or there is a server error, or you get the things from the database. But if you get from the database, there's a 100% guarantee that all the fields will already be there, because there will be an instance. This is the default instance of getting all the field. Okay, so we won't be getting this error. And learning of the day, you can put this in the Firestore. So running of the day, and if it's not there, then you get this. But when you save it, it will have something. Let this be communist lister. Let me restart this. We will be getting something. Let's see what we get. So it says learning of the day used in a null value. Okay, so it says it's a null value. You get the general task. Get all general task, you get the general thing. General get. Okay, we did not put it here, so running of the day, general, running of the day, or put something interesting. It should not be. This should not be the case of where we'll get this, but yeah, let's put this for safety thing. Save this and let's restart once more. Okay, now you don't get the error. If you save, now you don't get the error. When you open this, you get a checkbox. You get the text form field. But if there is something, then you should get. Okay, let me put something on database. Okay, by default without writing from here, because we have not written how we can add things, right? So let me do one thing. Let me put something. So this was added directly on Firestore. So I'm writing something on Firestore. As I said that I'm not sharing it because I really don't know what is private or not in Firebase. Tomorrow I'll get the idea of it, and I'll show you how I've designed the database. So it's necessary to know how I designed it, because then you'll get an idea like how things are working, right? If I edit something, okay, I added something. Okay, now let me restart the app, and let's see what appears. Okay, I've restarted the app and I've added something on Firestore. So now when I click, okay, yeah, this is how we want it. So if you see, right, now you don't get the text form field because there is already a value, and you directly get the this thing. So, but if you see here, we get a padding, right? This padding does not look good here. And what we can do? So the padding will not be on the top, but we'll hold the padding 1 second. So we'll not put the padding on the complete thing, but we'll put this on the column. Type this with padding. Remove this padding. Save this. Okay, but still it's too below what we want. So how much space does take? This take this much space. Okay. So comes up here, and so the padding was a bad idea, it seems. Save this one. Okay. So this comes here, but now you want that when you long click on it, right? So now you get an idea, right? Like what this happened. So there was nothing here. So once let me show you one more. So let me clear this on database. Okay, now I'm clearing things on database. I'm not showing you because I don't want to repeat myself, but saying it for the last time that I don't know what is private on Firestore, so I don't know what I should do. Like just I'm not showing you the database one. Let me refresh the app. Start the app. Now if you open the app, the state should be cleared. Okay, now I've cleared this on the database, so it's an empty thing now. So when I open this, say you get something. Okay. Now let us add the things like where you can save things, so that I don't have to keep editing on the Firestore. We can directly do it from here. So we want that when you save on this, right, it should update the learning of the day. So let's go to the repository, and how this work is work distance you can update this way. Similarly, we'll go instead of this instead of so instead of wake up time, we'll say update learning of the day. I call in update but not add. Why? Because as I said, right, there will always be an empty string for this. Every day there will be an empty thing for this, because this is a thing we want to do every day, right? So it will have a simple instance of it where it's an empty string. Update learning of the day. Okay, now we put a general here. Let's go to the learning of the day, learning of the day. Okay, now we can update this, and let's put this on provider. Let's go to the view, and here what we can do, we can read it. We can read the provider of if you see this. Okay, let me close others and let me open the provider of this. So if you see this, we have a general task notifier, right? And you can update the work distance here, and you can update the wake up time also here. How we are doing is we are getting the general task repository instance, and we are updating it. Then we are changing the state thing. So when you change the state, everything will get updated, right? So this is how it's supposed to work. So let's update this. Let's call this and put it here. Update learning of the day. Learning of the day. Get the general task, you update it, and you update the update learning of the day for the general task and fetch it once again. And you left Flutter general task provider dot notifier dot update learning of the day. Put the general task here. Put the ID as general task dot ID, and learning of the day to be learning of the day lesson. It's not lesson anymore, it needs to be learning. So let's example. Instead of lesson, it will be learning. Learning text controller. Dot text. Okay. So now when you click on this, you should update it and update the state. Okay, let's see if it works. So you need to rebuild it because the provider is new. It needs to have an instance of it. So click here, learning of the day. Learn about writing application using Flutter. So suppose if you found this helpful and you want to start write Flutter, then you can say click on save. And you see it came back here, right? That is what we wanted, and we accepted that. But there is also one more thing, like we wanted when you do long press, right? Then you should get back to the what do you say the text editor. You should get back to the text editor and you should enter that. So what we can do is in this we can do on long press. On long press, so on long press we want we should get back to this, right? So what we can do is this should become an issue for the issue be. What do we do? We want to go back here, right? But this is a main class. This is dependent on different provider. So let's do one thing. Inside the provider of learning, right? So let's say let's create one more state provider, and we say edit state. So if it's on edit state, okay, so when you long press on it, we'll enter on the edit state, and what this edit state will do, it will make one more text form field with update. Okay, so edit state provider, and here also will pass boolean, and by default this will be false. Edit state provider, and go to view. Let's watch this. So we'll do final on edit state, that watch. So if you are on edit state, right? If you are on edit state, we want that when you click on, when you long press this should enter on edit state. Okay. Yeah. What we'll do is on the list style, right? Not here, but here. We'll also check if it's on edit state. If it's on edit state, then show something or something. So how will this work now is by default if there is an empty, then we'll also text form field. But if it's not empty, then we'll check if it's an edit state. But the edit state will work when you long press on it. So what will this work? Because even on long press, right, the text will already be there on the general tags provider, right? So the true case will already be coming in the first instance. On edit state can only happen when there is already a task. So this cannot be here. This cannot be here. Okay? This cannot be here. Why it cannot be is like the text will already be here. If you want to enter edit mode, text should be here, right? So it cannot be on the list style. So it needs to happen here itself. So if you long press on it, the null task will already be there, and this will not be an empty. Okay. What if we put an OR case here? We put an OR case or on edit state. So in both the case this will be there, but so edit state. So when it long press it, put and enter edit state. Okay, so let's put this as a function and we'll write this function. So create method enter state, not in the bottom but in the top, so that so what we'll do, let's create this function. This function is a void function. So what will this do? First, if you long press on it, learning text controller should be equal to whatever the text is coming. Okay, so we'll do learning text controller dot text will be equals to whatever was there. Okay, so there will be a value. So we'll pass the value as this. Okay, and we'll do ref dot read. Okay, you cannot have an instance of reference here, but we can pass, right? We can pass a reference. So we ref. Okay, so ref dot read will read the instance of edit state provider. Notifier dot state equals to true. Okay, and okay, enter edit state. Will do this, and now what we can do is on the list highlight we need to long press and put this here. Learning of the day can enter here, and the second will be the reference. Let's see how it works, even if it works. So let's rebuild it because there's a new provider. So what should happen now is like list style should be coming up, but when you click in the longer time, right, the reference just edit, it should go to the edit mode. Click long. Got it. That is what we want. It works. So how this is working is, so it's a simple basically. So what we have here is like we're looking for this provider, right? So when we get in task, so the child is dependent on if there is this is empty or not, but we're also putting an OR case. So even if it is an edit state, right, then also show this, and this both of this condition will always be true in the same case. Okay, but why is the text coming as an text? Because on edit state change, when you see we're updating the text to contain this, but it cannot be saved. Okay, it will be updated because the user needs to know they're in update mode, right? So what we can do, we'll pick up this on edit state, and here on save, though it will read the same thing, but we'll change the text. So we'll do on edit state, this will be update or else save, and this cannot be constant because it's dependent. Yeah, the text change. Let's now let's go here. Click on learning of the day. You get learned about writing Flutter because we have added this. Click on this. Okay, it enters edit mode with this. It enters update, and we'll write edited. Okay, edited. And now when you update this, right, so the text should be coming with an updated thing. So click on update. It did work, but it is there, so it's empty. So now what happens is general task is there. See, this is empty or on edit state. Okay, I got it. So if you see on update, right, you did not change the edit state to false. It's still on edit mode. You did not change the state. So what you can do is on this, if you see if, we'll do one more condition. If it's an on edit state, and then read edit state. So edit state provider dot notifier dot state equals to false. Okay, let's save this. reload this once more. Go here, click on this, click for longer time, edited. So if you see, if you even go back, right? So let's click this, edited, X2. Click on update now. See, you get the X2 in update. But there is one problem here. So when you close this, right? If you're on edit mode and you close this thing and you open it, it's still on edit mode. It should not be. Edit mode should get cancelled out whenever you close this panel. So one more thing is what we can do is so we won't be writing this like this. So what we'll do, let's create one more function called toggle edit mode. Okay, toggle edit mode. This will take a widget reference, widget ref, and it will not make it false, but it will make to whatever the state was. And the widget reference, we also want to get the state. So what we'll do is whatever the state was, okay, and just change it to what the state was to not the state. So now we can do one thing. Instead of doing this here, toggle edit mode to ref, the same thing, but here the state can be we need to pass the state then, right? Enter edit mode. So here the state can be true. Enter edit mode. So the current state is false, right? So it's not on edit mode. So it needs to go to edit mode. So edit mode will become true. Okay, that's correct. Why we are writing this is because I'll show you why we are writing, because we don't want to repeat the same thing again and again. So now when you expansion panel, when you do any panel, it will update this field to the list, right? So it will not only do this, but also it will close this, but it will also call this toggle edit. So it will pass the reference and on edit mode, on edit state. This is one, and where is the update thing? It is on edit state. Just toggle the update mode. Okay, now refresh, reload the page. And okay, so we get the learning of the day. Open it. This is not correct actually. It's because okay, I got it. What is happening? So you got the expansion callback, right? So expansion callback will happen every time, even if you open, even you close also, right? So we need to call the toggle edit mode if it's false, that is when you're closing it, right, then it should reset it. So if not equals to value, so expansion should close, then call this, close it. Open this, yes, okay. Now I see we get this, right? X2, long press on it. Let's update this to X3. Okay, instead of 2 it's 3 now. Click on update, it got updated. And close this, open. No, it's not working. Close it. Okay. Close. is expand. If it's expanded, you did a callback. So it means area closing. Okay, let me do one more time. Let's refresh this page. Okay, so when you open it, it should be not on the edit mode. Okay, but when you close it and open it again, it's coming back to this. Why is that happening? Because this is getting called. Let's do one thing. Let's debug this, how this works. Okay, so do a debug print and press an expense state. To string. Open up the debugger mode, image the debugger console. Save this. Okay. So when you close it, you get as true. Okay, so when you close it, it's true. Why is it true? It's true because it was open, you want to close it. Now when you open it, you get this false. Why? Because it was false. Now you want to open it, close it, you get as true. When you close, you get it true, and when you open, you get it false because it is taking the previous state. So what if it is not a case? So when if earlier it was closed, so if it is not, let's try this one. If you open it, it goes to this, but why am I not understanding how this works? It's a silly thing, but yeah. So on the first instance, it's true because it says it is true here. Okay, so that means it was open. There are a lot of things coming, so let me do one thing. Let's put this in the result. Filter out the result. I don't want it. Refresh the page. Open it. When you open it, it's on false. When you close it, it's on true. When you open it, it's in false. When you close it, it's on true. Yes, but we are doing this after the ref. You should not do after the ref. You should do before the ref. Do it here. So when you open it, one second. Clear this out and clear one more out. So when you open it, it's in the false state. When you close it, it got false with true. False with false. Close it because that's true. And you're trying to toggle the edit mode. Okay. There should be an end. Okay, so let's try out this. So when you're closing it, you should also see like if it's open or no, right? Like whether it's on edit mode or no. So if it's on edit mode, if it's not on edit mode, if if you close it and it was already on edit mode, then it should not be on it was on edit mode. Now when you open it, let me refresh the state. Okay, so it's on close. When you open it, it should come as a list style. Okay, yes, when you close it, open it, it should be on the list style. Okay, when you're on edit mode and you close it, it should still be on the list style because yes, that is what we want. So we were missing out to say a condition either. So either we were on. So what is the mistake we are doing is we are not checking if it was on edit state on. So even if it was not edit, it was just keeping on toggling the edit state again and again, right? So it was opening for some time, it was closing for some time. Okay, so this is what we wanted. I think it's completed. Let's try it from new. Learning of the day, you can toggle. Why is it not opening when I click out anywhere? So expansion panel, it just can tap on header. What did I do? I should. So you can click here, it will open. You can long press and let me clear out everything so that you can see how the complete flow works. Update. So when you open this for the first time, you should not have anything. That means you don't have learning of the day edited yet. So you should get a text field. You'll get a text field, write your and learning of the day and save. Okay, let's do learn to create a component using Flutter. Okay, and then click on save and you get a list style with the text. Now when you close it and open it once again, this time you don't get the text form field, but you'll get the text because you already edited. This is once in a day. Long press on it to enter on the text form field with the text in it where you can edit it. So let's make it edited so they know it's being edited. Click on update. It's an update. Close it, open it. It's still persisting on the database. Now when you long press on it and you close this panel, right, expansion panel, so you should not be on the edit mode anymore because you did not update it and it does not look good. So to close it, open, you are no more in the edit mode. So whatever was in edit mode, that is being erased. That is what we wanted, and since we're not saving on every instance, right, anyway if you close it, your state will change and you will not have what was out. So that is what we wanted to achieve for today, and I think yeah, that's it. So let me show you the complete code. Like, okay, there is this one. Let me format this first. Put a constant, save this. Let me show you the complete file. So two functions that we added. One is on enter edit state. This is where we wanted the whatever the text was, right? So we wanted to put in the text editing controller. So we'll put the controller with the value, and we're toggling the edit mode to know that we are on the edit mode. In the build, we have the same general task provider. So what this provider does is, so if you go to the provider, so it's a async notifier provider where we wanted to get a list of general tasks, not a list of general tasks. General task is like wake up time, walk distance, which have only one field that will not have a list of things. So I put the learning of the day also to be the part of general. So here in the base, we need a build, right? So this is the initial thing, like what the constructor will say. Constructor, when you instance in the first instance, what should be the data? So the first data will be everything from the base. And what we added is this update. We have not added add, we have added update because so when you every day, right, you'll always have this field like the wake up time and for walk and learning of the day is an empty on the database. So it will be created every day. So you don't have to add it, it will already be there. You just need to update it. That is what we added. The same thing on the repository, what we did, we added one more function that is it's calling the Firebase. You don't have to think of what the doc thing is. Okay, once I have an idea like what are the private thing on file which I should not share, I'll come back to this. I'll show you the complete database flow also, and you can see how it works and how I've designed the database. So we'll go to the collection, doc, and general, and we'll update the learning of the day. Okay. Now let's go to view, and we are looking for general task, and this is the basic or the expansion panel thing up to this. And here if you see up to this is the same thing in the body, we are looking for general task. So the river port provide this for the future things. This is a feature is called in the database, right? Provides when. So when there is a general task, and the length is not empty, that is you haven't operated anything, or it's an edit state. We are also checking on edit state because we wanted this, right? So if you have on edit state, we wanted the text form field only. So if it's empty, then also we want text form field. But if it's an edit mode, then also we want the text form field only. So that is one, and we get the text form field. We put the text form field, put the controller here, and in the row, based on if it's an edit state, we'll put the update sign, or else it will be saved. So if you open this, right, if you see this, it will be update. But if it's an empty, right, so let me clear out complete thing and click on update, and now if you can see it's in save. Okay, so and based on this, if it's an edit mode, we'll toggle the edit mode to evaluate this function, right? And we'll update the general task, give the ID, and whatever the text was, just put it with. And if it's already there in the list type, so if you add something, right, so Flutter concept, hit save. This will contain a list type where in the title it will put all the data instead of a text form field if it's already there. If it's an error, so some error in the loading state, will put the progress link. So that was it for today. Tomorrow what we'll do? Tomorrow we'll be using one more package. Okay, we'll be using image picker. So for today you have seen this, right, the learning of the day. So tomorrow what we want to do is like we also wanted that every day if you take any pictures, right, so upload the best pictures of the day. So tomorrow the things will be a picture of the day or something like this, where you can put a picture and it will be saved on the database, and you can fetch this picture. So basically you're getting idea of the app, right? So this is just to track your everyday, just to put something in the general things, right? Tomorrow we'll be using how to pick up an image from your local database and save it. That will be for tomorrow. But for today, this was the learning of the day. I hope you understood how this works and you're learning something. If you're facing any difficulty, please comment out and we can discuss on it. And tomorrow's live we'll be doing with the image picker thing. And I hope to see you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.